This video that I'm going to show you is the single greatest example of hypocrisy from Dems that I've ever seen, and that's saying something. Take a look.
Steve Cortez here on the west side of Chicago, Democratic National Convention at United Center. The Democrats, of course, want open borders and want an endless stream of illegal migrants pouring into the United States. This is my new acquaintance, Edwin. Say hello.
My name's Edwin. Nice to meet you.
Edwin is from Venezuela. And we're going to take Edwin into the DNC so that he can meet the Democrats who want open borders. He should meet his new friends, hear the speakers, and learn about the Democratic Party. So Edwin, let's head in, shall we? This is Edwin from Venezuela, migrant, invited in by the Democrat Party. He'd like to come into the Democrat convention.
You have to get your credentials. Yep, you have to go to Jackson.
Yep.
Wait, you mean he needs credentials and permission to come in?
Yes.
To get past the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a border wall in a way, huh?
Yeah. You have to have ID, credentials.
You can come
Okay, to
in.
come to the United States?
No, to come
Not to come to the
here.
United States. Okay. You believe in security. You believe in securing a boundary. Edwin can't come in.
That's all I know.
I commend you on guarding this border. You're doing it very effectively, folks.
Good morning.
Hi there. We would like to get some credentials for Edwin. Come on, Edwin. Edwin is from Venezuela.
I am right.
So we tried to get Edwin into the convention. He's a migrant from Venezuela. No organization, just American. And he's a migrant from Venezuela. Wanted to get to the convention. We figured that they would love to have a migrant from Venezuela come in. They said we need to get credentials, so we're here to get the credentials.
Okay. Has anyone filled out an application for him?
So you have to. There's a process in the application. He didn't have that at the border.
So the hypocrisy is blinding. This is the greatest litmus test to see if someone actually believes what they say they believe. Bring that policy to their home for them to actually experience themselves. And if the rules suddenly don't apply, or if they do apply, if they didn't before, then they didn't actually ever believe what they said they believed. The DNC literally had to form a wall. If you guys didn't hear about this, they had to form a wall around the DNC because of the pro-Hamas protesters, because they didn't want them to get in. Where have we heard before of someone who wants to build a wall to keep out, people that they didn't want in? Also, where have we heard people saying that that's super evil? Seems like an interesting thing for Democrats to do at their own DNC. They're clearly liars. They want immigrants to come into our country. And for that reason, by the way, a lot of people are scared to talk about this. I don't know why they're scared to talk about the reason why Democrats want immigrants to come into our country. I'll break it down very simply. Democrats are playing a bit of a long game here. There's not kind of a short-term play on letting immigrants come through our southern border. They know this is the long-term play. They know that Hispanics favor them. And it's not just Hispanics coming up through the southern border, but Hispanics overall, even though they have gone a little bit more to the right in recent elections, they favor Democrats, and the numbers are clear on that. So they let illegal immigrants into the country, and no, they don't let those some people have talked about giving amnesty to those immigrants, and that's certainly a possibility. But what is not just a possibility, it's a certainty, is that those illegal immigrants have children who then have birthright citizenship, and they do vote. And that's why I say it's the long haul, because 25 million immigrants have come into our country in recent years. All of them are going to have children. Those children will all be citizens, and they will overwhelmingly vote Democrat. It's very simple. And so, again, if some terrorists from Uzbekistan or Syria get in the meantime, that's just collateral damage. It doesn't really matter to Democrats. It's worth the votes to let those things happen. I don't think they particularly want them to happen. I don't think there's really like something that's in it for them on that. But in exchange for millions and millions of votes, they don't have any problem with that. And what's actually astounding is the fact that Republicans ever win elections, if you think about it, with how dirty Democrats are playing this. So it actually, in some ways, is actually kind of a good thing to look at. You could be optimistic about it and see, wow, I'm kind of surprised Republicans ever win when you've got the media corruption. I mean, we can go on and on about all the ways that the media, big tech, big pharma are in the pocket of Democrats. And I'm not saying there's no, corruption on the Republican side either, but seeing that, there's a party who's literally letting millions of immigrants in so that they have children who vote for them, it's a wonder why Republicans ever win. And it is true that in a generation, Republicans very well might never win. And so the question is, what can Republicans do? Because everyone's talking about stopping the bleeding, and that's certainly important. I'm not saying we can't stop the bleeding. We got to, close the border wall completely. People have talked about deporting certain immigrants. Sure, that's possible, but there's 25 million illegals in the United States. Deporting them all is just not reasonable. I'm not saying we shouldn't try, but it's just not reasonable. So yes, you can deport some of them, but what no Republican is talking about is that in the meantime, while we wait to get a Republican president in power, we need to reach out to those new Hispanic voters. We're seeing an upswing in Hispanic voters. It's no wonder. They're way more conservative than, liberal white ladies. The Mexicans coming in, Venezuelans coming in through our southern border, they're all actually quite conservative. And so, I'm not saying that we should let them in. I don't think that's right. I'm totally in favor of legal immigration, but it's obviously not illegal immigration. You have to take in as many as you can assimilate, and you can't take in more. But what I am saying is that conservatives are demonizing the people who simply just took advantage of bad policy made by Democrats. I mean, let's just all think to ourselves. If we're living in Monterrey, Mexico, of course we want to come to the United States. And conservatives all acknowledge this because we love America. That's, the whole shtick. That's what conservatism is all about. Family, America, Western principles. So, of course, I'm coming to the United States if I'm from Mexico. And can you really blame me? No, because it's an amazing place. But what you can blame is the Democrats that are doing it. So what Republicans need to do in the meantime is actually reach out to those voters, because if they're going to have kids and if those people are going to vote, you might as well have them vote Republican because they're probably here to stay. It really sucks. Maybe 5 million, I'm just throwing out a random number, maybe 5 million out of the 20 million could get deported. And I think obviously we start with those who have a criminal record, but most of them are just not going to go home. And so it's not enough to just demonize them. They did nothing wrong. They did come in illegally, but at the end of the day, they were just doing what Democrats allowed them to do. So I think the burden is on the Democrats. Sure, we can stop the bleeding, but we need to do a better job with outreach to Hispanics. Or in 5 years, when more of them are 18, Republicans will never win again. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please go down below, comment, like, and subscribe, and watch another video.